Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be reviewing a fantastic fragrance, Rasputin, from the brand Swedoft. Before we do that, I'll just give you a quick update on Gravitas Pour Homme. Sorry, it's a little bit delayed. My own fragrance, Gravitas Pour Homme, of course, from Naughton and Wilson. The fragrances have been made now, they're boxed up, they're going to be with you very soon. We're actually using, just in order to sort of do things on an economical basis, a very reputable distribution centre out in Cambodia, and we've got some footage now. The fragrances all left there today in a nice pallet. If you want to be reassured they're safely on their way to you, here's a quick clip of them on their way to the airport earlier today. Hello everyone, welcome back to all of you in the Smelly Army. So today I'm going to do a video about a single fragrance that I'm really excited about for 2020. Perhaps I think my favourite new discovery so far of the year 2020. We're just at the beginning of March, so it's early days yet, but so far, yeah, this one has really captured my imagination. So the fragrance in question is this one here, Rasputin, by the brand Swedoft. And there's a link to the company's website where you can order these in the description of this video. Swedoft is a Swedish fragrance company, and the man behind it is Sven J.A. He is the perfumer for all of their scents. They have a relatively modest number of different fragrances, which sometimes I kind of like, because I don't always like to see an overawing amount of fragrances on a company's website when they've not been around too long. This 2019 release seems to be maybe their flagship male fragrance. They did send it very kindly to me for free for review, but I get sent many things and not all of them get featured on the channel, but this one was definitely worthy of a mention. So yeah, Rasputin, interesting name for a fragrance. The presentation really nice. It comes in a very nice box with a kind of red lining there, wooden box, and it feels very weighty, classy, simplistic kind of design, and it's got a lovely lid with a picture of the man himself, Rasputin, handmade in Sweden, and a formula number on the back, which is kind of a classy touch. And you get a little card here with some handwritten writing as well in there. So it's all very much on a sort of low production numbers, artisan kind of level. Now the price for this brand, actually really well priced for niche, what I would consider artisan perfumery. This 100ml bottle here is only €132, which translates to approximately, I think, about £113. I believe that at the moment they're just available in the EU, including the UK, Sweden and other European countries. They also do 50ml sizes and 30ml, very competitively priced. I think the 30ml comes in around about 40 something pounds or €50 or around about that. So very good price for niche fragrances, but that's only a good thing if they're really good. And this one it's an absolute cracker. So it's themed after Rasputin, or named after Rasputin. I better fill you in on who he is, just in case you don't know. So he was a very famous figure in Russian history, and he was a member of the court of the Tsars, the last reigning Tsar family, the royal family in Russia, shortly before the Russian Revolution. Back in the midst of the horrors of World War I, the Russian royal family were having a rather torrid time, and they had this mysterious and very famous figure, Rasputin, who was a Russian monk or Orthodox priest, or so, I think a monk. There's a famous song about him, isn't there, by Boney M. And it looked a bit like that. There are photos of him. He was a very controversial figure. Eventually he got murdered by some Russian noblemen, all a bit complicated. Maybe we don't need to go into that, but he was a very mysterious figure who claimed to have sort of magical healing powers. Some of the Tsar's children were rather unwell, and he was involved in maybe supposedly helping them, but he had a rather controversial sort of sex life going on with some of the ladies of the European courts of the royal families over there. So fascinating character. What does that have to do with the fragrance? Well, I mean, they've just kind of tied it in with an interesting character, I think. The smell of it there's a little bit of darkness and mystery and spiciness, and he was certainly a spicy character. But I think really the story there ends as far as Rasputin goes, and I'm going to talk more about the fragrance, which is an absolute cracker. So the notes on this one are pineapple, jasmine and bergamot, cedar, vanilla, cinnamon, cloves, Mexican chocolate. We've also got incense, musk and agar wood, also known as oud. Why I like this? I think this is a really great, potential classy, all-round signature scent. It's a rich, spicy and woody fragrance, Comparisons I would draw would be, I can think of a couple of fragrances it reminds me of slightly. Someone else, I think, on their website in a review has mentioned X by Clive Christian, X for Men, and there is a similarity with that one. I think they also mention actually a ginger note in some of the blurb about the fragrance, which doesn't seem to be officially listed. I definitely pick up on a very nice, noticeable ginger note, which I really like in fragrances. And hence I think that there is a bit of that in Clive Christian X, certainly to my nose. I also get a comparison with, or the kind of vibe it puts me in mind of, and the kind of level it's on, which shows you how much I like it, is a bit of Spice and Wood by Creed. It definitely has a spicy yet fresh combination of notes that is very, very upscale, not dated smelling, not like some of my old school classics, but a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent. So if you like things like Clive Christian X, Spice and Wood by Creed, this one right up there with them. It's definitely got freshness. We've got a lot of different citrusy kind of, well, pineapple and bergamot listed. Pineapple, don't be put off, it's nothing like Creed's Aventus whatsoever, but you get that lovely zesty burst of effervescent, almost Coca-Cola-like, or maybe ginger ale-like freshness in the beginning, which is extremely pleasant. After that, we get a fantastic, very, very high quality smelling, woody, spicy combination that I find very, very enjoyable indeed. The cedarwood, you could, don't claim to sit here and say I can pick out cedarwood and sandalwood and vetiver always, but I would say a bit of a vetiver feel is in there too. It's not a listed note. A crisp kind of white wood, that's the feeling I always get with cedarwood, is very, very pleasantly sitting alongside that fresh opening. And then these spices, particularly to me, the cinnamon and clove notes, which are a little bit reminiscent maybe of Spice and Wood by Creed, really give this a lot of character, a lot of depth, and a lot of stuff to keep you interested. It evolves very nicely on the skin. It starts off a little bit more fresh, dries down to more of the darker and the woody stuff. I should also mention that I didn't really pick up on the oud note as being a prominent thing. I'm sure it's there, but it's just playing a subtle supportive role. Good news if you don't particularly care for oud. But yeah, definitely if you're looking for an oud heavy fragrance, this is not it. The other thing I should mention is the chocolate note, which I didn't mention on screen here. There is maybe a subtle hint of cocoa powder playing a small role in here, but it's not a very chocolatey fragrance, or certainly not a gourmand. And the longevity I found is superb for me. I'm going to say just short of beast mode. I do test things a bit where I put them on a tester strip and leave it in the room and see how many days it lasts. And this one has lasted extremely well by that test, which I always think is good neutral testing ground. Of course, on skin is the main thing, and that's why I think this totally shines just as a superb. I'm wearing a suit today. If you wear a suit to work, you want to be smelling classy, good performance, but not sort of in your face, obnoxious performance. Rasputin could be a really great choice for that, and of course, not many other people, very few indeed, are likely to have heard of this fragrance. So I think, yeah, really nice performance, great kind of upscale feel on this one. Seasons wise, I think this is a perfect all year round kind of fragrance. Maybe in the absolute heat of a hot summer day, you would probably always reach for something more transparent and just citrusy. It's a bit too spicy and woody maybe, but for springtime in the UK here, where it's often chilly or just mildly warm at the best, definitely for autumn, definitely for fall, definitely for the winter time, a great all round, very, very versatile, high quality and somewhat unique. I've mentioned comparisons to other things, but a somewhat unique signature scent of the highest quality. So season wise, any time you like, maybe leans towards the milder temperatures, not the absolute hottest of the hot, but that's the case with anything unless it's an out and out citrus freshy or an aquatic scent. So that's what I think about the season, and I'm very interested in the brand. They're a Swedish brand. They've sent me a couple of other fragrances. One of them is called Royal Satisfaction, and the other one is called Cambodian Oud. I've tried them briefly and both very interesting indeed. I've got the 30ml bottles there, so definitely hoping I can check out and bring you reviews on some of the other ones. So Rasputin, new to me brand, Swedoft. The perfumer is based out in Sweden. I think they're going to be a very big brand in the coming year or so that might get a lot of attention. I think they've been sent out to a few other reviewers. I think Chris from Scentland did a review on these guys too, so if you can search for that, I'll link it in the description. You might want to check out his review also. I think he agrees with me that it's a very, very good fragrance. I think that this brand have got a really, really nice price point, and I think these kind of brands, I love the smaller indie niche ones, people like Rogue Perfumery, where you can pick up really unusual fragrances made in very small numbers and priced very, very competitively indeed. And to me, I think the quality of some of these fragrances arguably is right up there with the highest priced Xerjoff, Clive Christian. Certainly my enjoyment of them is right up there. A lot of times with those brands, you are paying for the prestige of the brand, maybe for their advertising, maybe, you know, for some of their other big costs that they have, but also that they're making great profits, I'm sure. With these smaller brands that you won't find in your Harrods and your department stores just yet, maybe eventually you will, you can get amazing value for money. You get real small companies where you're just talking about one person very passionate, making a great product and trying to get it out there for a decent price. So for me, I think for 100 mil, it's, you know, not massively over £100, £113, something rather special. So Rasputin, let me know in the comments below if anyone's tried the fragrances from Swedoft. I think this is an up and coming brand that is going to be very, very interesting to follow. And for me, I would rate this fragrance at the moment 9.5/10 out. Let's call it a 9.5 out of 10, and it's one that's perfect for this time of year. Definitely the fragrance could be unisex, men or women could totally wear this. I think it's marketed towards men, but I see absolutely no reason why a woman couldn't wear this if she so wished. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Smelly.